I just got back from seeing John Wick 2, and hot damn is this movie good. John Wick Chapter 2 is directed by Chad Stahelski, starring Keanu Reeves, Ricardo Scamarcio, Ian McShane, and a host of others like Ruby Rose, Common, Lawrence Fishburne, a whole bunch of people, Lance Reddick. Everybody's in this movie. I've been waiting so patiently to get my chance to go out and see this flick because I loved the first one. I loved the first one. It was so good. It was so fun. It was just like the perfect action flick, you know what I mean? And Chapter 2 does not disappoint. Chapter 2 does take place sometime after the first movie. It's not a ton of time after. It's pretty quick, I think, but they don't really give you an exact time frame. John is basically looking for his car from the first film for whatever reason, which you do find out, and it is so good. The first 10 minutes of this movie set up exactly what you're gonna get. Just a high octane, incredibly well done action, just set piece after set piece after set piece. I really don't think I could give it better praise than that. This movie isn't trying to lie to you in terms of what it wants you to feel or what it wants you to think. It is a damn good action movie with amazing gunplay and amazing martial arts and just a really well done, tight story. Before I get too ahead of myself, this movie's plot really is focusing on John Wick being brought back into this hitman assassin world that he left because he has to settle an old bond. Keanu Reeves is back as John Wick, and man, Keanu is a beast. I can't say it any better than that. Keanu Reeves is hands down one of my favorite action stars in the US. There's nobody, if anybody, who's really coming close to matching him. What I mean by that is that he is insanely committed to the roles that he plays. The gunplay is fantastic. His martial arts skills, in terms of what he learns and what he pulls off, are by far some of the best I've seen from American films on screen. The difference between this and say like, I don't know, say a Tony Jaa or a Donnie Yen is where their moves are incredibly accurate and very flashy and very fun to watch. What I see in this, especially in the opening scene, is something that feels a little bit more, not 100% realistic because it's still an action flick that's making him a bit overblown, but the way it's handled is flawless and it just feels so good. Needless to say, I love Keanu, so I'm just going to move on. Ricardo Scamarcio plays Santino D'Antonio, which is pretty much your main prick of this movie, and he does a pretty good job of that. Again, in the interest of spoilers that I do not want to give, I don't want to really push more than that, but his character is sufficiently douchey. There's nothing overblown about him. There's nothing that makes me say like, oh my god, I'm afraid of this guy, but he's your main prick that you just want to see get his comeuppance. Ian McShane returns as Winston, and as always, that man is a pleasure to watch on screen. McShane just has a certain weight and presence to him, and it's just awesome when he gets on screen with Keanu and they're just talking back and forth about whatever the issue is or whatever the world is bringing down on him. And it's just really fun to watch. And not to downplay Ruby Rose or Common's roles in this movie, but they were definitely there for the action and just to have some other bodies to kind of go against, and they did a great job. So I'm actually pretty surprised actually at Common. Man, did a good job. I'm happy for him. And of course, this movie marks the return of Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne being on screen together. And that was just fun to watch if you're a film nut and you just love the Matrix movies. And just seeing that again, even though it's not in the same context, there's a bit of a joke there. And it was awesome. And man, I just loved watching it. Lawrence Fishburne is just always epic too. So he was fun to watch. There was no issues with me there. His character is actually kind of cool in the way that they interacted with each other and what it could mean for future films if we get a chance to see more. So, yes. Again, the main star of this movie by far is the action. There is nothing like this out there besides John Wick, really. The martial arts, the gunplay, which is by far the standout. The gunplay is 100% where it's at here. If you're a gun nut, which I know more people are far more knowledgeable on guns than I am, but the way it's handled is flawless. It is 100% flawless, and there are a couple flashy moments that are just cool, but damn if it's not fun to watch. John Wick Chapter 2 is not a perfect movie. I don't mean to throw it out there like it is, but I really enjoyed it. There maybe are a couple issues with characterization. There's some people who really are just there as fodder, and it'd be really nice to see more of this world fleshed out, this assassin hitman world, which we do get some here, but you don't get more than just some name drops and some little things, which I think they're trying to save that for another film. But it would have been nice to see some of that here. But overall, I am not complaining. I had a damn good time at the theater watching this. You should 100% go out and see it while you still can, while it's in theaters. I'm buying this on the Blu-ray as soon as it comes out because I want the behind the scenes. I love this movie. It's awesome. Go watch it. And that is my review of John Wick Chapter 2. If you've already seen it, tell me what you think in the comments below. Still thinking about seeing it? Did this sway you in any way? Throw that in the comments too. Let's talk about it. As always, you can follow me on all those social media networks that you kids love. Links will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching. You guys rock, and you've just been notified. Peace.